Lord. Bureti, we are also tuned in. Overseer Terer from Chepalungu region tuned in and waiting to hear from the Lord. Pastor Raymond from Bureti region tuned in. Thank you very much for many confirmations. Any moment now, the two mightiest mega prophets of the Lord Yahweh are going to be live on air here on Jesus is Lord Radio, and so be ready, be on standby. Wapenda wasikilizaji, wakati wote sasa manabii wakuu sana wa Jehova Yahweh wanaenda kuwa moja kwa moja hewani hapa kwenye kituo cha redio cha Yesu ni Bwana. Na hivyo basi kaa chonjo sasa kuwa tayari. I see here Biketi Edwin, you say Brooke Kericho, we are tuned in and well mobilized to hear from the Lord. Kericho West region is tuned in. Pastor Moses Zikei. I see here Dr. Bishop Yenkins, you say Kilimambogo Yata region is well mobilized and ready to hear from the Lord. Be ready, be on standby, because any moment now, the two mightiest mega prophets of the Lord Yahweh are going to be live on air here on Jesus is Lord Radio. I can see here also Elizabeth is set in the right region. We are tuned in and waiting to hear from the Lord. Thank you very much. Here also Pastor Githumbi from Seilianga in Dondori. He said Dondori region we are tuned in. Bishop Mogaka confirming that Marani region we are humbly tuned in. Franklin from Hill T, we are tuned in. Kiminini region is tuned in. I see here also Bishop Emily Hadassa. We say Jomvu region, we are tuned in and waiting to hear from the Lord. Thank you very much. Be on standby. Be ready. Wapenda wasikilizaji kwa tayari sasa. Maana wakati wote sasa manabii wakuu sana wa Bwana wanaenda kuwa moja kwa moja hewani. I see here Helen from Kihingo region. We say we are tuned in. Pastor Leah Adenya, Moise Bridge is tuned in. This is Samuel Lekimit from Kilifi Main Altar tuned in. Eunice Nganga from UAE tuned in. Pastor Sikole Furaha tuned in. Silvana from Brazil, we are tuned in. Pastor Alois Kennedy from Oyugis, we are tuned in and waiting to hear from the Lord. Mighty Alphonse from Ngumo Altar, we are tuned in. This is Bishop Carla Ramirez and family from Aguascalientes, Mexico. We are tuned in and waiting to hear from the Lord. I see here also many confirmations. Egerton University, we are tuned in. Thank you very much. Pastor Griffins Rono from Koroin, tuned in. Bramwell Wanzara, Rongo University, we are tuned in. Pastor Veronica confirming that Tacoma College in Washington State, we are tuned in. Thank you very much. Here, Wasia Joyce from Donholm, tuned in. Nzioki from Egerton University, tuned in. Chepsion region, Kericho East, we are tuned in. Hildegard Okore from St. Paul University, tuned in. Brenda Masinde from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, we are tuned in. I see Pastor Bernard Omoli from Wasingishu, we are tuned in. This is Germany, we are tuned in. Gideon from Ongatarongai, tuned in. Senior Bishop Jerry, Dagoeti Limuru region, on standby and in reverence to hear from the Lord. Overseer Brian from Nyali, tuned in. John Karanja from Kesra, tuned in. Overseer Stephen Isaiah, tuned in. Kericho East, we are tuned in. Pastor Byron Chilu confirming that Airways Shalom Altar, we are tuned in. Pastor Judith, you say we are tuned in. I see here Bishop Manoa of Westlands Nairobi, so we are tuned in. Technical University of Mombasa is on standby. Overseer Joyce, you say we are tuned in from Donholm. I see here also on this other side, Pastor Corporal Judith, you're confirming that you are tuned in. Thank you very much, Pastor Andati from Ngong, we are tuned in. Emmanuel Kiprono confirming that Olongorone region is tuned in. This is Bishop Wesley Ngetich, Finlay's Kericho South region is well mobilized and ready to hear from the Lord. Overseer Ann from Gilgil, we are ready to hear from the Lord. I see here also Pastor Brian Isaiah Kilimani, we are tuned in. Thank you very much here also for your confirmations. Bishop Jenga Iseko Batek, Timora region is on standby. This is Bishop Bernard Wanjela from Cherangani East, tuned in and waiting to hear from the Lord. Obed, this is Obed, and they're confirming that we are tuned in from Baraton University. Senior Bishop Jail, Ombek region is tuned in. Daniel Matiba from Mombasa, tuned in and waiting to hear from the Lord. Emmanuel Luvai from Vihiga Main Altar, tuned in. John Karanja, you say we are tuned in here. See Franklin Rono, he say Hilti, we are tuned in. Thank you very much. Here Centrin, and you say Centrin Wesonga from Utawala, we are tuned in and waiting to hear from the Lord. Be on standby, be ready, because any moment now, the two mightiest mega prophets of the Lord Yahweh are going to be live on air here on Jesus is Lord Radio. Wapenda wasikilizaji, kuwa tayari sasa, maana wakati wote sasa manabii wakuu sana wa kutisha wanaenda kuwa moja kwa moja hewani hapa kwenye kituo cha redio cha Yesu ni Bwana. I see Maureen Furaha confirming that Lodwa is tuned in. Pastor Isaac Paul confirming that Kaptembwa Elementator Region, Kongasis main altar, we are tuned in. Sharon Amarome confirming that Rongo University, we are on board and waiting to hear from the Lord. Thank you very much. Here, this is from Shadrach Kibet from Esageri main altar. We are tuned in and waiting to hear from the Lord. Pastor Peter Oteni from Pipeline on standby. Pastor Joseph Otieno from Mombasa main altar. We are well mobilized and ready to hear from the Lord. I see here also Bishop Bernard from Cherangani. We are tuned in. Hilary Oboge from Kipterer altar in Soin region. We are tuned in and waiting to hear from the Lord. I see here also Archbishop Julia from Germany confirming that Germany is heavily tuned in. Senior Deputy Archbishop Nilda, you say Costa Rica and New York, we are heavily tuned in to hear from the Lord. Archbishop Luciane, we say Brazil is heavily tuned in fear and trembling to hear from the Lord. This is from Bishop Philip, you say Konoin region is on standby to hear from the Lord. Bishop Professor Hannah, we say the entire of Chinese nations, you're heavily tuned in and waiting to hear from the Lord. I see here Seattle, Washington is on standby. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is heavily tuned in. Senior Archbishop Anantila, you say Finland is ready to hear from the Lord. Bishop Sozo Adelina, you confirm that Zambia is heavily tuned in and waiting to hear from the Lord God Most High. Bishop Eric Kwambua confirming that Machakos is well mobilized and ready to hear from the Lord. I see here also Pastor Rachel Carter, you say Illinois is tuned in and waiting to hear from the Lord. Angola is tuned in. Bungoma tuned in. Cameroon is tuned in. Pastor Magda, you say we are tuned in to hear from the throne room of heaven. Archbishop Mwita from Tanzania confirm that Tanzania is well mobilized and waiting to hear from the Lord. Kikwai Julius, you say Mogotio region, we are tuned in. I see here also Archbishop Trinidade confirming that Angola is tuned in and waiting to hear from the Lord. Deputy Bishop Anbogwa, you confirm that Kerugoya and Elijah Kerenyaga tuned in to hear from the Lord. Thank you very much here, Bishop Amachebet, you say Chebole Togomin region. We have you tuned in and ready to hear from the Lord. Bishop Zulu, you say Durban KwaZulu Natal is humbly tuned in and waiting to hear from the Lord. Be on standby, be ready, because any moment now, the two mightiest mega prophets of the Lord Yahweh are going to be live on air here on Jesus is Lord Radio, and so inform somebody that all may be tuned in. Wapenda wasikilizaji, wakati wote sasa manabii wakuu sana wa Jehova Yahweh wanaenda kuwa moja kwa moja hewani hapa kwenye kituo cha redio cha Yesu ni Bwana. Hivyo basi kaa tayari kabisa, kaa chonjo, na pia umfahamishe kila mmoja ambaye anaweza kumfikia, ili kwamba kila mmoja akaweza kusikiliza wakati ambapo manabii wakuu sana wa Bwana watakapokuja moja kwa moja hewani. Thank you very much for confirmation. This is from the Murillo Torres family from Limon in Costa Rica. You say we are tuned in to hear from the Lord. I see here Overseer Milka from Nyamira North tuned in. Pastor Bernard Korir from Kuresoi North tuned in. Pastor Bonventure Macharia, you say we are very ready to hear from the Lord. Pastor Joanna from Poland and the UK, we are tuned in. Mark Masawa from Amalemba and Ntaka Kamega Metro is tuned in. I see Mochongoi region is tuned in. Bishop Eric Phillips from Sindo region is tuned in. Shanzu region is well mobilized. I see here also your confirmation. Pastor Sarah Ben from London main altar, we are tuned in. This is Uni Askofu Ishmael kutoka DRC Congo, pia mnasikiliza. I see here Overseer Dorcas from Esageri Koibatek region. We say we are tuned in and ready to hear from the Lord. Thank you very much here also Shadrach Kibet, Esageri main altar, we are tuned in. Be ready, be on standby, because any moment now the two mightiest mega prophets of the Lord Yahweh are going to be live on air here on Jesus is Lord Radio. I see also a confirmation here. Senior Pastors Mariotti and Jose Fuentes from Sacramento, California. So we are tuned in to hear from the Lord. Senior Pastor Makoha and your family from Wasingisho tuned in. Pastor Samuel Fuamba from Jomvo tuned in. Brian Karanja tuned in. I see here Pastor Enoch Bahati from Bere region. We are tuned in and waiting to hear from the Lord. Be ready, be on standby. I see Meru University and the entire Tigani region is tuned in. Thank you here for your confirmation. Here it says Shanzu region, we are well mobilized and waiting to hear from the Lord. I see your confirmation here also, and you say Lekimit Sami from Kilifi main altar in Mutwapa, we are tuned in. Bishop Catherine, we say Olkalau region is on standby. Alice Keru from Mutondia altar, and the entire Kilifi North, we are tuned in. Doreen Mkoa from Rwaka, we are tuned in. Grace Mwatha, tuned in from Rongo University. Pastor Edwin Orina from Namira, tuned in. This is from Raleigh in North Carolina. We are tuned in to hear from the Lord. Redemptor from Rwaka Metro, you are on standby. Pastor Innocent Mwange from Annex in Kapsa region, we are tuned in. Pastor David Kimani from Pipeline Dondori region, we are tuned in. Lawrence Kipchirchir from University of Nairobi, tuned in. Mark Musawa from Amalemba, tuned in. Felix Omondi from Kisumu, we are ready to hear from the Lord. This is Pastor Jane Modoni from KU, we are tuned in. KU and the KU, also KU is also tuned in. Senior Bishop Aurelia, he said Ngong is ready to hear from the Lord. Mikindani region, we are tuned in. Joseph Soreri from Nyali, we are tuned in. Pastor Kathy Wamukoya confirming that France is tuned in. Overseer Kevin Mbunga from Mathare North, we are tuned in. I see here also your confirmation, and this is from Pastor Rebecca Miranda from Costa Rica, tuned in. Samuel Sepeti kutoka Rosamu pia tunasikiliza. Pastor Simon Kibet from Gashie Altar, we are tuned in. This is Jemima from Kaptemba, we are tuned in. Kisanya Francis from Kawangware 46 Altar, tuned in. Pastor Bonventure Machari and the entire Kisumu Airport region, we are tuned in. Pastor Elizabeth Sotik region is tuned in and well mobilized to hear from the Lord. I see your email here also, Basia Grace Clean, and they say Nuremberg, Germany, we are tuned in to hear from the Lord. Be ready, be on standby, because any moment now, the two mightiest mega prophets of the Lord Yahweh are going to be live on air here on Jesus is Lord Radio, and therefore be ready, be on standby. Wapenda wasikilizaji, wakati wote sasa manabii wakuu sana wa kutisha watakuwa moja kwa moja hewani hapa kwenye kituo cha redio cha Yesu ni Bwana. Hivyo basi hakikisha kwamba unamfahamisha mwenzako na kila moja ambao unaweza kumfikia, ili kila mmoja akaweza kusikiliza wakati ambapo manabii wakuu wa kutisha watakuwa moja kwa moja hewani. Simon Alucho from Wasingishu, we say we are well mobilized. Engineer Philip Okundi from Ngumo Altar, we are tuned in. Pastor Olubai God from Kisumu Airport region, tuned in. Pastor Duncan Kemboi from Moranga region, tuned in. Senior Pastor Norma from San Diego, California, tuned in. Mikindani region, we are tuned in. Emmanuel Nyaga, he say Meru main altar, we are tuned in. I see here also, this is Kiplangat B from Busitema University, we are tuned in. Emmanuel from St. Paul University, tuned in. Pastor Masi Rongo from Nairobi main altar, tuned in. Pastor Belinda Kobe from Keroka region, tuned in. Pastor Margaret Kamau from KU, tuned in. Daisy Acheng from Huruma Altar, tuned in. Helen Kimani from Kayole Rwai, tuned in. This is from Pastor Judy from Ea Kilimani, tuned in. Pastor Amparo Lopez, and you say we are tuned in together with my family from Mexico City. And I see here also Clevik Mefula from Amalemba, tuned in. Jen Nandwa from Umoja, tuned in. Benson from Nairobi main altar, tuned in. Pastor Samuel Karioki from Ea Kilimani, tuned in. Pastor Sami Ekaran from Free Area, you are tuned in. I see here also William from Nairobi main altar, tuned in. Linda Akini from KU, tuned in. Be ready, be on standby, because any moment now, the two mightiest mega prophets of the Lord Yahweh are going to be live on air here on Jesus Lord Radio. I see a confirmation here, David Anuna from Meru National Polytechnic. We say we are ready to hear from the Lord. This is from Pastor Patrick Chepkoni from Finless, Kericho South. We are tuned in. Be ready, be on standby now. Wapenda wasikilizaji, kuwa tayari sasa, maana wakati wote sasa manabii wakuu sana wa Jehova Yahweh wanaenda kuwa moja kwa moja hewani hapa kwenye kituo cha redio cha Yesu ni Bwana. Kuwa tayari kabisa na kaa chonjo, na maana wakati wote sasa manabii wakuu sana wa Jehova Yahweh wanaenda kuwa moja kwa moja hewani hapa kwenye kituo cha redio cha Yesu ni Bwana. I see a confirmation here, Deputy Archbishop Joseph Wu from Cameroon, he said Southwest Region, Cameroon. We're waiting to hear from the Lord. I see here Archbishop John Chitio from Uganda. Uganda is tuned in. Pastor, this is Mary Ann from Japan. You said Japan is heavily tuned in. Pastor Peter John, together with the Delaware altar, we are tuned in. Deputy Bishop Professor Njage Meru South is tuned in. Mama Archbishop Laura, you say Luala Cameroon is tuned in. Senior Bishop Claudette, you say you are tuned in.
赞美主，我的主，主最强大，强大的先知。蒙福的人们，主耶和华跟我说的话，有即将来临的复兴有关。这个对话当中，我看到了残疾的女孩就要站起来了，那个残疾的女孩就要站起来行走，复兴要继续在这个国家，甚至我们要现在前往超级巨大历史性的荣耀卢安达安哥拉复兴聚会当中，我仍然看到残疾的站起来行走。这是个女孩，我不知道她的年龄，她要站起来行走，这是非常强大的时间。蒙福的人们，这意味着很多很多的医治就要发生。主现在说，这2个星期以来继续的跟我说，才得站起来，耳聋的听见，瞎子看见，强大的说圣名来。现在我来宣布，所有的残疾人在这个土地里头都要站起来行走吧。那些家人仍然被捆在自己残疾人捆在家里的那些家人，现在主要拯救这些家人，把这些残疾人要站起来，兴起来，那睁开瞎子的眼睛，耳聋的、哑巴继续瘫痪的、继续受损的、内脏有问题的、肾有问题的、心脏有问题的、血液有问题的、白血病、糖尿病、高血压、癌症、肿瘤都要消失。我现在宣布，以强大耶稣圣名的权柄来，继续的在这土地里头的复兴继续要继续，甚至现在那有战争在进行当中，在乌克兰，严谨靠着我口中的宣布，这战争在乌克兰进行着，现在涉及到波兰，这个有可能要发生。在这个世界当中，就允许给你们允许给另一个世界的这一边是残疾人站起来。那乌克兰那边呢，人被埋葬。1月11号，2021年给出的预言，借着这个预言，可是在这儿呢，说你们是被爱的，你们神把你们的残疾人站起来，因此你要非常认真的对待你们拥有的这个特权，并且要保存、要保护、要抓住。你们要珍惜这个复兴。我知道，波兰，我的女儿约安娜已经在那里，要跟他们说，他们跟乌克兰他们说，这是主说的话，主已经，这就是弥赛亚来临的一个征兆，弥赛亚来临的征兆，这是主要求你们悔改的声音。可是蒙福的人们，主耶和华跟我说了有关复兴，继续，那就是要接着继续要发展在这国土里头的残疾人得医治，下次看见，并且我们在安哥拉有巨大的聚会，这是精确的时间，我们开始彻底的干净时，从星期一晚上开始干净时，重新开始强大的方式来，星期一。这是主让我看到梦中看到了这星期一的晚上，现在所有的人要调整自己属灵的生活，因为神指出这个国家已经跟你们说了，末期要来了，神的国度应许给你们的荣耀，应许给你们的神的福分，这就是你们现在要开始调整修正你们的生活，以耶稣为优先。你们必须要确保一下，耶稣必须要在你的生活当中要占最重要的位置，这才是优先。这应该要在你的生活当中必须要彰显出来，要圣洁成为你的生活的中心。任何一个 罪恶，如果你必须要避开罪恶，因为弥赛要来了，复兴要继续。残疾的站起来，耳聋的听见，瞎子看见，瘫痪的要行走，脊椎受损的得医治，膝盖有问题的得医治，完全都得医治，并且内脏有问题的都得医治，肝脏、肾、心脏，那些精神有问题、精神病的那血液有问题的，白血病、癌症。肿瘤都要消失，神宝血的大能现在要暴露出来，然后彰显出来，然后要描画出来，并且展现出来在这一代当中。因此，愿主来祝福你们。当你们预备弥赛亚来临的时候，无人知道那日子那时辰。谢谢。
Your hidden glory in creation, now revealed in you, our Christ. What a beautiful name it is. What a beautiful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a beautiful name it is. Nothing compares to.
Mighty, blessed listeners. Oh, what manner of love is this? What manner of grace is this? The Lord once again coming to speak about the massive healing coming to this nation and the revival going on. Very, very powerful, very, very mighty hour.